I'm Charlotte, and welcome to my podcast, Influence, Inspire, Impact.
Hello everyone, I don't even know what this episode number is, but welcome back to my podcast, Influence, Inspire, Impact, and today I'm very happy because I've got one of my favorite humans and one of the most influential figures in my life on the podcast today. So this is Perrin, everybody. Do you want to say hi?
Hi. Thank you, Charlotte.
Thank you for doing this.
I'm happy to be here.
Perrin is all the way in Florida right now, very very scenic, whereas it's like kind of gray here. But she's just vibing in Florida, and I haven't seen you in 7-8 months. I think I saw the last time I saw you was my birthday. Long. It's been too long. You need to come back, and we have to get sushi too.
I know. I love me some sushi.
Oh, me too. I had some the other day, but I didn't know you like sushi, and then you told me the other day. I was like, yes, we need it. Next time I finally pair, and we have to get sushi.
My favorite food.
Oh, mine too. Yes. So I guess I'll sort of start with a little backstory, and then I'll sort of just have you fill it in. But for anybody who does not go to DHS, they changed it this year, but in years past, the program where the upcoming seniors would apply to help freshmen transition into the school, it was called Link Leaders, and this year they actually changed it to Blue Wave Anchors, but I still kind of refer to it as Link Leaders. But Perrin was one of my lovely Link Leaders, and she called my house, I think the day before school started, and Caitlin was the other one, and but I think I always sort of more gravitated toward you, maybe it's because of the sushi, and I just didn't know. But now I am a sophomore, and the lovely Perrin is off at Elon University. So how's college?
I love it. I definitely found the right school for me. It was my top choice from the beginning of senior year. I wavered between a couple schools, but Elon is definitely the right place for me, and even though COVID has made it a little bit different, I'm so blessed to be able to go, so I love it.
Did you visit it before?
I did. I was in between Elon and Wake Forest.
Wake Forest, my uncle went there.
Yeah, I loved the idea of it. I didn't love the atmosphere. I mean, people would argue that it's the same as Elon, but I felt that Elon was more welcoming, and I loved the faculty, so that's why I chose Elon.
I remember the day you got in, too. You texted our like group chat, and, well, no, you did. I think Olivia did it, actually, and everybody was so excited. Probably. I remember when you got in that. That was a pretty big day, but I'm happy you're happy. I mean, all the pictures I've seen, you look very happy, and I know you're a big sweet sig in the big leagues right now. But I'm happy you're happy, but I still miss you a lot, especially because I haven't seen you since like April.
Group. I love it.
How is that? Like, how does that work?
I know, but you can listen to me on Spotify.
I can't tell which one is you. There are too many.
I know, there's a lot of girls. It's 16 girls, 4 from each grade. 4 from each grade.
Ooh! You got in that, wow. The odds of getting picked then, they're small, right?
Pretty small. There's 2 girls groups, 2 co-ed and 2 guys. And I wanted all girls. So I auditioned for 2 groups. And I got the one that I wanted, so I was really happy with that. But the acapella community at Elon is really fun.
You guys sound beautiful too. What was that song? The one that you put on Spotify like recently? The one I saw on your story. What was that song?
New Light by John Mayer.
Yes, it was that. I loved that. I listened to you guys, and Olivia was over at my house, and I was like, you know they have a Spotify, right? And she was like, oh my gosh! And I was like, yeah, they have a Spotify. Because I followed it before you put the song out, but you have to tell me, like, which one is you, because I can't tell, but I still listen to it all the time. There's a lot of you, so I'm like, I don't even know.
I won't do that on the podcast, but it's hard. A lot of different moving parts.
Oh man, I can't sing, but you can, obviously. You can act, you can sing, you can do pretty much anything. But
thank you.
You're welcome. I'm slightly biased, but she's pretty cool. So back to our little story. Perrin is, I still call you this, but she's my link leader, and she also wound up in my journalism class first semester, so that was pretty lucky. I remember the first day I was sitting there, and I watched you walk in, and I was kind of waiting for you to notice me, and then you were like, oh, hi, it's you. I was like, hey. But that class was fun. And I think through that, I got closer to you.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, we did some great pranks, too. But, you know,
yeah.
I mean, I think through that, I got a lot closer to you, and we just had a lot of fun in that class.
Yeah, it's rare for a senior and a freshman to be in the same class, so we lucked out.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. And second semester, you left, but I had Ryan second semester, and Miss O'Hara was like, just in case any of you guys are scared, here's a senior and a freshman, best friends. I was like, yep, that's it. I don't know, but I think I've just always, like, felt a connection to you in the sense that you're just, like, a very laid-back person, and now, like, advisory completely falls apart when you're not there, because we combined, I don't know if you remember that day I texted you, but we combined advisories that day.
Yeah.
And that was I didn't like that at all. But now that you're not there, it's, like, not as fun anymore.
Aw, I'm sorry to hear that.
You should come back sometime.
I didn't always bring the most energy during college application season, but
I think you were just tired. You were just tired.
There were a couple times that I was told by our teacher that I looked dead. So.
Mr. Clark said that?
Yes.
You didn't look dead at all. You just looked tired.
It was a day that I didn't have any makeup on, so that wasn't the best.
I don't even remember when that was, but
that was a little. That hurt.
I don't know. It's okay. Who cares? You never looked dead to me, and I think that's the important thing. He also didn't do much. He just kind of sat there and let you run it. So now that like you're not there, we lack like the modern people energy, because it's like
right,
Mr. Clark and some other like guidance counselor, and so we lack like the first advisory. I remember texting a bunch of people. I was like, I really want Perrin back. Like that was not fun at all. You should come crash our advisory. All right. Are you ready for our
I would love
interview?
to.
Yes, please do it. All right. Are you ready for your questions?
I'm ready.
All right. So,
yes.
You are a big influencing figure for me, and I think for a lot of other people. So I wanted to start by asking you, what qualities do you look for in an influencing figure of some sort?
I think the first thing that comes to mind is just general kindness. I think that I wouldn't look up to anyone that wouldn't treat people the way that they're supposed to be treated, and that's something that I work on and that I take as a very important quality in anybody. So I just think that that's something that I try to do, and I think that it's learned by being with people, and people can pick it up off of you, like what goes around comes around, sort of. So that's what I would say is something that's important to me in a friend or a mentor.
Me too. I mean, this is also coming, everyone, from like the sweetest human, so I'm actually not shocked that's what you look for, and I don't know where you get it from, but you're just like the nicest person. You're like a very welcoming, like friendly face too. because you were standing in the auditorium, I think, on that first day of school, and freshman orientation, and I was just, oh God. Like, I get very anxious, and so I walked in there, and it was like, Perrin's a friendly face, she called my house, we're all good. But you're just very, like, kind-hearted, and...
I mean, I remembered the feeling, so...
Oh, I hate, like, I always feel like a pit in my stomach. I'm like, ugh, no. But you're like a very, and we played that, like, game. Yeah. And we played, like, that game in where you would say the numbers, like, you would count.
Mm-hmm.
I think I actually played a version of that in Spanish, but I remember you laughing at me because everybody else was, like, so energetic about it, and I just stayed, like, very calm because I was trying to take everything in, so I was just like, 7, and you laughed at me, and it was so funny. I was like, oh God, I didn't even realize I said it like that, but you're like, Charlotte, you're just like 7, and everybody else was, like, so competitive about it, whereas I was just trying to, like, not pass out from nerves.
Yeah, you have to pick up on people's energy.
I was a nervous wreck. I'm pretty sure you noticed that because once you know me, I mean, I think you would agree. I've had people say to my mom, like, "Oh, Charlotte's so shy." I'm like, no, I think once you know me, you know I'm a professional crackhead. I don't know if you've noticed that, but. I just think I'm a very, like, quiet soul before you get to know me.
Yeah, a quiet introduction.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. I know, like, I didn't really say anything, like, those first couple days of school, but, I mean, once you get into, like, media studies, I'm fine. So it's just kind of a question for me of, like, finding my lane, I guess.
Yeah. The right environment.
Exactly. I think when you're thrown in, like, a freshman advisory for the first time in, like, a whole new school and you have no idea what you're doing, you're like, okay, time to, like, be quiet and just take everything in. Yeah. Except Cole. Cole didn't do that. Are you ready for your second question?
Yes.
When you applied to be a link leader, what was your sort of overall goal? If you were to be accepted, what was your goal? When you were accepted, sort of, what was your goal for being a link leader?
My goal was just to make people comfortable. I didn't bond as much with my link leader as I would have liked to. I felt very uncomfortable. My advisory actually changed faculty advisors every single year. So it was never a place that I welcomed as somewhere where I could ask questions, and luckily I had the best guidance counselor. Shout out Mrs. Flaherty.
She's the other lady! She's the other one! With Mr. Clark!
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's fun.
She was the highlight of high school for me. So I just wanted to welcome people as much as I could, so that was my goal.
You did a good job. I think,
Thank you.
Even to this day, I think I'll always go to you first. Like, you've helped me through a lot of mental breakdowns, actually, this year, because after e-learning, we didn't do anything, like, last spring in e-learning, like, it wasn't that bad, and so when they started building up the work, I was like, Perrin, help! Like, I literally was like, you helped me through a lot of mental breakdowns. You're just, like, a very calm person. Very welcoming, I think. I think everybody latched on to you pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was the goal. I like to help people, so I thought it was a good position for me.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I don't know who else would have taken that, but... Alrighty. You ready for your next question?
A lot. I think they took everyone that applied, so...
Did they really?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, then why was there an application process?
I think so.
Oh. Well, then...
Well, I think... So what they did was different because they put everyone in a different area, so some people didn't have an advisory.
Oh. Oh,
They were like event coordinators.
Oh. Well, I mean, I don't know, but I don't think you would have enjoyed an event coordinator as much.
No.
What sort of events? Oh, they did like the freshman social.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes
I was like, are there even enough advisories for like all the people who apply? I was like, what's even the point of a application process? But
Yeah, there's not.
they should abolish that. All right, you ready for question 3?
Yeah.
This one's a little more
Yes.
simple. What are some of your inspirations?
Well, a person would just be my mom. She's always someone that I go to for advice, and just the person that I take as my biggest mentor, so definitely my mom. But inspirations that aren't people would just be, in general, like the arts as a whole, whether it's painting. My mom, when I was growing up, was an artist. Now she's more into retail as a more steady job, but she always painted when I was younger, so I was just raised in a very creative household. So I think that that's a quality that I admire about my mom and my family. So it's something that I take as one of my biggest inspirations.
I mean, you do a lot with the arts. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, that show was so good. I was right in the front row too, so I could see. That was a great show.
That was one of my favorite things I've ever done.
I love that so much. You did so well. Sometimes I still call you Siobhan.
Thank you.
But I was right in the front row, so I could see too.
Right. It was a really, really awesome experience.
That was like really. I went with some friends, and I don't think like any of them. I don't think it meant as much to them as it meant to me, but like I found it very moving, and I feel like everyone could sort of relate to it in some way.
Yeah, it was a hard show to unpack. And Jackson and I mean, Jackson did a fantastic job. And we worked together a lot in that process, and it was hard to take the script's words and make it real, but we really worked hard with Mr. Region too, just to make it the best that we could, and I think we had a great experience.
I loved it, and I talked, a bunch of teachers had gone too, like everybody
That's
loved it.
something that's from too, so.
He's Dr. Region now.
Yeah.
He got his
Yes.
He got his doctorate in May, because I have a bunch of friends who have him now for English, and they're like, no, Charlotte, it's not Mr., it's Doctor. I'm like, okay, sorry.
My apologies, Virgin.
Yeah, I don't know. At first, because
Hopefully I don't insult him.
I don't even know if he'll see this. I don't think he even knows who I am, but unless I specifically just went into his class and was like, hey, here's this. Perrin called you Mr., not Doctor. I think he'd be okay.
I think you would forgive me. We've been through a lot, so.
I think he would too. I don't know. I loved that show. So I think, I mean, back to what you were saying, the arts obviously for you, and you sing, you act. I don't know what else you do, but you do a lot of art stuff.
I do. It's a great outlet for me.
It's in your blood.
It is. You're right.
I mean, I think also before I knew who you were, I saw you in, what was that? What was the show? Footloose, I think?
Yeah, I was in Footloose.
Yeah, I think I saw you in that when I was in like 7th grade. Jeez, that was like 3 years ago. 7th grade, I think. I saw you in that. So I think it's in your blood.
It is. I've been doing it since I was 6.
Well, you're very good at it. I mean,
Thank you.
Like 12 years?
Yes.
Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
It is.
Alrighty. Oops, I lost the questions again. Alright, are you ready? Next question.
Yes.
You kind of already covered this before, but I wanted to ask you sort of a different variation of it. But what do you feel like it takes to influence somebody?
I think just making an impact on somebody's day can change the way that they go about their day. I've worked in retail a lot, and my favorite job I've ever had was at Kirby and Company and Kirby Girl, and I just loved that store. Both of those stores, and I
Those stores are like so aesthetically
I was a
pleasing.
barista, so it's mostly with, but yes, they're awesome stores. But what I did as a barista was, if someone had like a difficult order or something, or a difficult gift to buy in the store or whatever, I would just carry the sale the way that I would want it to be, you know, like they had color, I would do my best to make it or whatever. And just knowing that they got the best service made me feel like I was doing my job well, and that they would do that for someone else, or like do the most for someone else. So yeah, that is kind of an answer, but
no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think you should.
Yeah.
You should work at Target pickup, and my mom can call your boss, because yesterday she came home and she was like, Charlotte, I want you to know about my good deed for the day. I went and I saw she has like these two, she's at Target pickup a lot because we go through a lot of stuff with 3 of us in the house, 3 kids and then her and my dad. But she went there, and there are like these 2 guys there who work the Target pickup. I forget what their names were, but she says she sees them all the time. And she was like, I saw them again, and I told them that everything falls apart when they're not there, and so I wanted you to know about my good deed. And I went and I told them that I was going to call their boss, and I called their boss, and they were so happy. And so I don't know, I guess if I was your boss, I would want somebody calling me, because I think you're just you're very personable. That's the word I've been looking for this whole time.
Thank you. Yeah, you definitely need that in retail, so
retail,
if you don't have it,
tough,
then
I don't know if I would ever be good in that field.
That's just another thing that's in my blood. My parents met through retail, so
wow.
Yeah.
She was Lily's boss, right?
Yes.
Because I remember her saying, that's funny. That's funny. Because I remember her saying last year, oh yeah, Perrin's mom is my boss. I'm like, wow, she must be a fun boss.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun. They were like best friends. She'd be an awesome boss.
She would be. I don't know. Because my mom's like, Charlotte, you need to be prepared that you're going to have like a really cranky boss when you get older and like you start working.
Yeah, my mom's not that.
I don't think knowing you. I have to meet her sometime. I have to give her a big thank you for your daughter for being so awesome for me, because I think you were such a. And I was saying this, I forget who I was saying it to, but a couple weeks ago I was saying to somebody who was in our media class. I was like, hey, I think I owe Mrs. O'Hare a lot, because like my journalism people they're like some of the most grounding forces in my life. And I think in the sense of like, I will always more naturally gravitate towards you and Ryan and Olivia and Gwen and all those people, just because I feel like we have like a connection. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I'll always just like...
No, it does.
If you guys were all standing in a room and there were like people my age and then like you guys, I would probably more naturally gravitate towards you guys. It's like I am a weird... I don't know if you read the article I wrote at the end of last year. It was like sort of a thank you to the seniors because your year went down the drain, but I want to say thank you anyway. In it, I sort of explained how I am a very... I have like a more complex personality in the sense that I get a lot more anxious around people my age versus people older. Like I will literally, like I would more naturally gravitate towards you guys than somebody in my grade.
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys
you're very mature for your age, so
Thank you.
It makes sense.
I don't know.
You're welcome.
I try. I can be immature sometimes too. You saw that, but I just think I've seen a lot.
Yeah, you're always a step ahead, so it makes sense that you're moving up a couple grades.
No, I just feel like, because when people haven't seen what you've seen, their perspective is different. So I would rather like hang out with you than like some person from my grade who like lacks, I don't even know what the word is, just lacks some of the I've just always been sort of, I've had people call me an old soul, and I had people tell me that I need to act my age, so I really don't know. It just truly confuses me because I just kind of am here.
I've always been called an old soul too, so
I don't even know what that means.
I don't think it's a bad thing. It just means that you're very mature in your spirit. Not mature in your actions, but mature in your preference as to who you're with. Like, you're experienced in life.
That's definitely
your time
you.
that it makes
That's you. That's you. That definitely is. I see where that fits you.
I'd say the same about you.
Thank you. Maybe that's why I think you're so awesome. But I think I was making a list of people, and
we bond in that sense.
Yes, we do. We kind of always have. And I miss you too. It's been so long.
I know, I miss you too.
Are you ever coming back?
Soon.
Soon.
Hopefully. Probably springtime-ish.
Oh god, that will have been like a year.
I know.
Then we have to do something really big and really fun. And maybe when you come back, Corona will be better.
Hopefully.
I just wanted to go
we'll be
away.
Vaccinated and rocking. Me too.
I know. We have to do something big though. We have to get sushi. Because I feel like every single time you're here, I have something. So like the last time we were here, it was my sister's birthday, so I could not, like, I wasn't gonna, because I knew, I was like, Mom, I really want to see Perrin. She's like, you know what the right thing to do is, you have to stay here for your sister's birthday. So I stayed, and then I was like, Ryan, when is she coming back? He's like, I have no clue. So it was interesting, but it's very difficult, I think, with you, because I think you're one of my favorites, so when I haven't seen you for this long, and like you were the kind of the first face I saw at DHS, it's like more torture. I was like, I literally feel like I'm being stabbed. I just want to see Perrin.
Oh no.
We gotta do something big though, because I miss you. And I'm gonna give you a big hug too.
Awesome.
All right, I think I had one more question for you if you're ready for that.
Yes.
So, you obviously sort of already covered this in a couple different questions, but for example, let's just hypothetically say I was applying to be a Blue Wave anchor, and let's hypothetically say that I got in. What advice would you give to me or somebody else if they or I said that they wanted to influence somebody positively?
I would say, I guess my biggest thing would just be to get to know every person. I don't think I did the best job at this, but I feel that I was more attuned to doing this as president of Theater 308. I really tried to introduce myself to every person, have a conversation with everyone at every meeting, and that it was hard to do it with both groups, but our advisory also didn't talk. It's a little bit harder when
I would have said something. Because I talk all the time, but when we were in advisory and we were being asked all these weird questions, and I was like, I don't even know. Like, I just stayed quiet, and Caitlin laughed at me. Right. She was like, Charlotte, you literally talk. I see you every day, second semester, and you literally talk. So why aren't you saying anything? You were also seriously shortchanged because they cut off advisory last year.
Right.
You're good at that with me. You know me pretty well, I think.
Yeah, I guess I put all my eggs in that one. My biggest advice would be to introduce yourself to every person and learn about them.
That's
I think
actually,
that's the easiest way to make an influence.
You did that. I think that's actually a common with all the people I've interviewed for this. And you're like wise beyond your years. Like you're 18 and I was in here with like older people, like my grandma who was like 70 something. So you are wise beyond your years, but I think what everybody has said, the common pattern is like get to know people.
Mm-hmm. We're in a world where we kind of walk with our head down and don't talk to people, but just like even asking someone about their day. Like my dad is the type of person who, if he's at a grocery store, he'll go, "Hey, how's your day? What time do you get off work? Oh, that sucks. You have a late shift. Well, I hope you're doing well. Like, I hope you have a great day." And I'm not like that. I'm a little bit more reserved, but
I can't see you doing
where
that.
I learned that. No.
No. Oh my gosh. When you come back, we're going to a grocery store and I'm going to dare you to do that for all those people. I'm going to make you do it. That's funny.
I mean, I'm sure it would make their day, so I'll do it.
Yes, do it. I'll film it too. I dare you. I dare you. We'll go to the grocery store, we'll pick up the sushi, and while we're doing that, you can just do a bit of what your dad does.
Okay.
I mean, I think
take that
you're
there.
Once again, you're very personable, and I think you're good at that. Like, I think you also have sort of a radar that picks up when somebody isn't having a good day, because I know there've been a couple times in advisory where like you sense that somebody wasn't like feeling their best, and then you made a point to like try and brighten their. I always left advisory feeling happier, which I think a lot of people were like, "Oh, I don't like advisory." I'm like, I like it because I left there feeling like very at peace with myself. This year it's kind of changed because you're not there, but you're just very good at like being personable.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for taking the time to do this. I know we were kind of bouncing around trying to find a time.
That's all right. Thank you for having me. I mean, I love talking to you and talking about all this fun stuff.
We only ever text now because I haven't seen you in so long.
I know.
So I was like,
I know.
I don't know. It's just, this is like a special thing to be able to have this, because when I get older and when you're like, you forget about me, I'm gonna always have this to remember you by.
I'll never forget about you, Charlotte.
Thank you, P. You're the best, and I think people are gonna love this, because I think most people who also know me know that I think you're pretty awesome, and I look up to you. Like, you're just still to this day a very much a role model for me and sort of who I want to be when I'm your age. So I think people are gonna love this because they're gonna get to put a face to a name, and people who have never gotten to meet you, or everybody's gonna love this. I love this too. You're also like very good at doing things like this. Like, you just, I don't know. You could be a good podcast host too if you'd stuck with the fashion one.
I didn't stick with our fashion one, but maybe another day I'll find another path in podcasting.
Yes, you should find it. I'd listen. You know I would.
I know you would.
But thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Everybody watching, please give P a very big virtual round of applause. I miss you very much, and I'm so happy that we got to talk, because this has given me so much serotonin, like, going to the rest of the day with. But come home soon.
I will. I miss you too.
All right. I'll see you soon. So everybody watching, this is Perrin, and thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you next episode. Peace!